Hey guys and gals, welcome back this week for another Haunted Gaming. This week I'll be covering The Legend of Zelda II, The Lost Level. This creepypasta starts off again with another individual wanting to re-experience their childhood and want to experience a nostalgic moment with an old video game. This particular individual was searching through the internet for a copy of Zelda II for the NES. After searching on eBay, he came across an unbiddable item, Zelda II, for 99 cents. And had purchased it because it was very cheap. When the cartridge arrived after a week, it looked very weird. It had no label and was all golden with a little, title written on it. I'll just put it on the screen right here. It's basically Zelda 2, except they wrote it in, stupid leet speak. The person had then put their cartridge in the NES and started to play the seemingly innocent classic. The game had one save file already on it, most definitely from the previous owner. The player then loaded up the save file. The save file was pretty normal, but there was one glitch which allowed the player to walk through rocks and other barriers in the game. The player decided to use this glitch to their advantage, and progress through the game at a faster pace. As the player kept on running around the game world, they had come across a burning town. The player entered the town, and to their surprise, they encountered a perfectly normal place. There was no problem at all, and until the player started talking to people, that's when shit started turning weird. Every time the player would talk to someone, the NPCs would reply with the phrase, "Leave now." The player had then walked by a big house and was pulled in by some strange-looking girl that said, "Come in quick." As Link was pulled in, the player had heard 8-bit versions of screams and violent noises coming from the house, and then Link began levitating out of the house. As this happened, the town had turned dark and the homes were lit on fire. The levitating Link then appeared without eyes and started laughing demonically. Link then stated, "Hyrule is done for, Greg and Zelda, along with Hyrule shall perish by the hands of me." All the townspeople had then surrounded Link, and they all blew up violently, spewing blood and guts everywhere. Link was then chanting around a Rosie, and the game cut to black saying, "Run away, Greg, run." As the player looked behind him in real life, he saw Link bleeding from the eye saying, "You're going to die." Then the player was lifted up and thrown around the room, getting severely injured. A neighbor heard loud screams and called emergency services, and the player was sent to a hospital, barely surviving the encounter. The player then researched, after being patched up at the hospital, the history of the cartridge, and found that the game was made in an abandoned warehouse built on top of an Indian burial ground called Green Tree Cemetery. Apparently at the cemetery, a member from an Apache tribe had gotten captured by a rival tribe, and the man's eyes were cut out by the rival tribe using a buffalo knife. The player had thought he may have been attacked by the Apache man instead of Link. Nevertheless, the player had put the haunted cartridge on eBay with the same title as when he had bought it, Zelda II, NES. Well, this is definitely fake. Why is it fake? If this happened, I swear news reporters would butt this story and give it so much hype that even people in remote parts of the world would know what happened. However, the inclusion of an Indian burial ground had really intrigued me, and I searched up Green Tree Cemetery to see if something existed. I searched it up, and it actually exists in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, in the United States. But it's not an Indian burial ground, and this sort of destroys the notion that that aspect of the creepypasta could be real. Also, if the player had been so brutally injured by this apparition, why didn't the ghost just kill him? I really have no real answer for that, but it's still questionable, right? And if you guys may know or have an idea why, then write in the comments below, because, I'd like to hear it. And if it's good, then I'll just, mention it in the next episode. This creepypasta, again, is definitely fake, but it's really creepy. And this is the first one I've read which involved an actual ghost and real physical harm to the victim, and basically really rustled my jimmies. Anyways, this is my analysis. It's fake, no sign of being real, except the real world references, which were quickly debunked. But this pasta has pretty gory demonic imagery, and it definitely gains a creepy star, and deserves to be read. It's my analysis. Well, guys and gals, I hope you like what you saw. Sorry for the late upload. I was busy all week. But definitely, if you like what you saw, then like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a nice day or evening, depending on where you live or what time it is. Bye. All your bases belong to us. All your bases.